These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
Check,
And what
mic
do you
check,
plan to
1
do
2
if
1
this whole
2.
dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
It
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Welcome back to Gaming Daily Live on a beautiful Wednesday, February 25th. Man, February is just flying by. This month is flying by. This year is just going to continue to fly by. My name is Icy Supreme, and we are here reacting to the biggest crypto, gaming, AI news stories of the day. Thank you guys so much for being here. We got Jorge, the gaming strategist, in the building. Mount Doji in the chat. Llama, you guys are always here early, fresh. I appreciate that so much. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. We got a banger episode as always. Also, real quick, big shout out to Jorge with the Solana gaming content. His show has been crushing. Game recognized game, Jorge. I love you, man. Keep doing great work. When are we gonna collab? When Jorge on the stream? When Solana Games on the stream? We got to make that happen. George and Jorge, he is in the Twitter chat. Appreciate you guys for being here. It means so much. We got Hantao coming on the show in about 40 minutes to talk all about Grand Arena. You guys see the shirt? You guys see the shirt? It's Grand Arena month, actually, dude. Grand Arena is crushing it. So I can't wait to talk to Hantout about that. Ice and Dark in the building. Man, you guys coming in early. The Twitch chat is crushing, man. I appreciate y'all. I hope that, like, because I don't have the Twitch bits and notifications and alerts on this stream layout because I switched over computers. So I hope I'm not missing any updates from you guys. Please don't subscribe. Don't do any of that stuff. It is not necessary. But without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the show. I got to add the Twitter share here. And our first story, of course, is we got to thank the sponsor that makes this show possible, Yield Guild Games. Guys, can I be... All right, guys, real talk right now. YGG is like the only sponsor left on the show. I actually have to update this banner. Sequence, Soulforge Fusion, and B3 have essentially lapsed. Their contracts are up, and YGG is really the only sponsor that we're carrying into 2026 right now. AI Rev is still with us. He's got like another month on his contract, which he has been amazing. So this show is being supported by really those two. And the fact that, people aren't renewing their contracts and someone like YGG is going to renew their contract just means so much. I wouldn't be able to do this without them. And so, if there's anything, like, please follow YGG, go play their games, jump into YGG Play, support what they're doing because they support crypto gaming full stop, man. But with that said, they got some cool quests going on. They've got their community warning. Definitely be aware of fake accounts because they have a lot of accounts. They did a global hangout with Gunnies earlier today. Their events are always really well done. They've got a community quest with Warp. Warp has been crushing it. You love to see that. They've been doing a lot with Gunnies, actually. So I might have to look into Gunnies, to be honest. But with that said, guys, let's just get right into the show. We got a lot to talk about. We're talking about, let me see. We're talking about the thesis for Degen Games. We're talking about, we got the update from Off the Grid, Jorge, Off the Grid, Game Informer. They've got their advertising network. Super interesting. I can't wait to jump into that. Fableborn's power token is up like 800%. It pumped like 100% overnight. But is there drama? Is there controversy around that? We're going to talk about it, guys. You guys know I bring the real. So we're going to dive into that, see what's going on under the hood. And then just major gaming updates. Kairos Guild is crushing it. Origins has a tournament. Axie Infinity, their new playtest is coming. There's a lot to dive into. But first and foremost, I think we got to take a look at this breaking news story. Did we just uncover one of the biggest scandals, controversies, dramas in crypto ever? Let's take a look at this video from Choose Rich Nick.
Well, we now know who's behind the largest crypto collapse ever, and secretly, they were likely behind the destruction of Bitcoin over the past few months. Here's what most people don't know. Jane Street, one of the most powerful trading firms on Wall Street, was just sued for using insider information to front-run and accelerate a $40 billion crypto collapse in 2022. It started with UST. On May 7th, 2022, the project quietly rotated $150 million as part of a routine and administrative task, which temporarily made the stablecoin vulnerable. Within 10 minutes, Jane Street pulled another $85 million and triggered a death spiral that permanently destroyed not only the stablecoin, but 4 other companies. 3 Arrows, Celsius, Voyager, and FTX. $2 trillion completely vanished. But here's where things get even crazier. Over the past few months, crypto's been in a deep bear market, with many wondering why, since the regulatory environment has never been more bullish. Well, we may finally have an explanation. For months, traders noticed Bitcoin dumping at the exact same time every single day. 10 a.m. Eastern, the moment markets open, Jane Street was suspect number one. The lawsuit against Jane Street dropped on Monday. The next day, Bitcoin is having one of its biggest days in months while gold is down on the day. I'm not the smartest guy, but are you seeing this? People seem to think that the Bitcoin bear market may finally have come to an end. And frankly, I think they may be right.
Yo, shout out to Choose Rich Nick, man. One of the best to ever do it, dude. Choose Rich. We also have a breakdown expose from Star Platinum. You know Star Platinum is going to be on the case. Damn, am I peaking? Am I like shouting? I never know how loud I'm coming across on the mic. I could probably talk a lot more calmly, but I get so excited, man. I get so excited, and then I'm like shouting into the mic. You know what? My mom is always like shouting, and I'm like, Mom, like, chill. Like, I can hear you. So let me know if it's like way too loud for you guys. I apologize. Star Platinum, of course, on the case, breaking it down line by line with dates. So really crazy. Jane Street might be behind 1010. Apparently they were behind the May 2022 crash. I mean, listen, Terraform Labs and Luna was like always going to crash, right? Like, yeah, all my homies hate Jane Street. Like Luna was always kind of like Ponzi-ish. Celsius was Ponzi-ish. Allegedly, don't sue me, bro. FTX was committing fraud. So it's like, are we just now looking for a new boogeyman, a new kind of scapegoat? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I just think there's a lot of bad actors in the space, and what's done in the dark comes to the light. So it's good to kind of like find this stuff out. But if it's not going to be Jane Street, it's going to be somebody else. Like, everyone wants the Wild Wild West until it's the Wild Wild West, where it's crime season. People are getting away with this stuff because these markets aren't regulated. So they can just go crazy, I don't know, like that's just kind of is what it is. But hey, if this stuff is what's happening and we can now resume up only, I would like my bags to go up at the end of the day. The other thing that I was going to say with this is, like, pretty sure that Sam Bankman-Fried worked at Jane Street. Like, didn't he come from Jane Street? So the ghost of Sam Bankman-Fried continues. Like, I'm sure it's all like interconnected to some degree, right? But shout out to Star Platinum. Shout out to Choose Rich Nick on the case. We're going to move on, guys. You know who else is getting lawsuits today? Bam! New York Attorney General is suing Valve, alleging that their loot boxes in CS2, TF2, and Dota 2 violate New York's gambling laws. I think that, like, isn't this like, haven't we heard this for years, right? Yes, no, maybe so. Yeah, dude, Valve getting sued again. New York. I mean, like, what do we... Is it predatory? Is it this? Is it that? I mean, maybe yes. I don't know. But, like, I mean, people love their loot boxes, right? So it's like, let the people have loot boxes. I don't know. It's not for me. I don't want it. And I would want transparency. Yeah, dude. If Roblox can get around their stuff, like, I think that this is probably just a blip in the road. It would be. Isn't this like already settled? Don't we already have like precedents and case law here? If not, then it'd be good for this to get that, because the problem is, like, all of crypto gaming is like gotcha style, quote unquote, skill-based risk to earn degen games, which we're going to talk about. Is crypto gaming only for degens? We will see, but we'll keep an eye on this case and see what comes from that. Moving on, let's get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode. I kind of wanted to start with this and talk about it. this article went viral, quote unquote, today, at least in the crypto gaming sphere. Everyone was dude, what is with everyone wanting to repost articles and be like, you have to read this. You have to take 15 minutes to read this. Bruh, I'm not on Twitter because I want to spend 15 minutes reading stuff. Like, I'm on Twitter because I want it in like 140 characters, 280 characters. I sent out that tweet like a week ago, like, bring back the 280 character alpha. Ben ZZZ Cyberpunk, which is such a sick handle, by the way. The fact that this guy got Cyberpunk is crazy. The founder of Play Cambria, arguably one of the most successful games in crypto gaming, laid out his thesis for Degen Gaming. Listen, it's a lot of words. I read through it right before we got on stream. The core of the thesis is financialized entertainment, this term right here, which I actually love that term. I completely agree with that term. I saw Derek Lau kind of start to popularize the term like maybe 6-8 months ago. And it stuck with me since then. Maybe Thread Guy has talked about it. So this is not like a new term, but yeah, he essentially lays out the idea for financialized entertainment, talks about the history of casinos, talks about poker, talks about content, talks about the rise of prediction markets, how it all works, you know. Real stakes, you get the dopamine, you get fast feedback loops, perpetual content cycle, which is super important. You get content, so it's always kind of promoting itself and creates that, you know, that flywheel that everyone loves to talk about. Asymmetric upside, you know, the 1000x gains. So, you know, you get the big headlines and the dreamers and the aspirationals. There is skill, but it's also luck. Players need to believe they have an edge. This is exactly what we talked about with Nick Metzler last week, where great game design has two core features and concepts, hope and agency. And then number 6, Ben says social virality, community, identity, stakes create connections. I mean, he's really just like explaining why this stuff works. I didn't get anything too revolutionary from this. You know, he says gambling at casinos has topped, mainly because people just want to stay home, you know, and want connection. So he says the next big category are Degen games. I got to be honest with you guys, I don't like this framing of Degen games. Like, I just don't. I almost titled the show, Is Crypto Gaming for Degenerates? Because Degen is shorthand for degenerate. And a lot of us crypto degens, you know, will say it like tongue in cheek, kind of like, you know, joking, like, oh, we're so degenerate. But like, it's actually true in many ways. We're staying up all night. We're gambling. We're risking money. We're, you know, chronically online. Yeah, we wear it with a badge of pride. And I just like, I don't think that that's actually what we should be propagating. And so the idea of like degenerate games, I'm actually not a fan of. I agree with the idea of financial entertainment. But I think like the idea of degen games is just like, that's not it. I don't, you know, and I think skill-based, I think risk to earn is very interesting. But yeah, I actually don't like this framing of degen games. So what is degen gaming? They're skill-based games with elements of chance where risking digital assets inside of the game is the gameplay mechanic, not a layer built on top. If multiplayer, they feature deep, hyper-financialized economies. Others look like more gamified gambling. Tarkov, Arc Raiders, Crypto RuneScape. I like kind of disagree with that. Like, Arc Raiders is not a degen game. Like, it's an extraction shooter, but like, I don't feel like a degen going into Arc Raiders. There are like, you know, the core concept of risking yes, because you're bringing in your loot, and then you can lose your loot. And I lost a lot of loot last night. I'm gonna be real with you guys. And I stayed up way too late playing it, so that was a little degen. But like Arc Raiders is not a degen game. I don't agree with this. But again, I'm not disagreeing with the core concept that Ben is laying out here. I think that him understanding this and putting words to it makes a lot of sense. You know, risk to earn, no skill shots, incomplete information. This is poker. I mean, a lot of these like crypto games are just like they're just explaining poker. They're like it's just poker. Crypto gaming is like discovering poker for the first time and being like, oh, this is it. And I'm like, guys, like, yeah. Poker with extra step, poker, but in RuneScape, poker, but in, our extraction shooter, poker, but in, this. It's like, which that can work. I'm not even criticizing that. That's perfectly fine. That can work. I think that's great. I think competitive gaming is fantastic. That's how I look at the thesis for degen gaming. I think that it is really just the next evolution of competitive gaming, because right now the only way to have financial entertainment with gaming is through esports, big tournaments, big productions, where it's really only about the pro players that have access to that. Whereas I think competitive gaming, if, the financialized entertainment thesis plays out in competitive gaming, I think we just get financial layers on top of all these games. You're not a genius for having a prize pool and having, tickets to enter. We are just applying crypto rails and infrastructure, allowing for real money games. These are just real money games. They're not degen games. It's just real money games. But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Again, very long article, very good. He also says why now? And I actually don't agree with this either. But I don't want to go into all of it right now. Anyways, talks about the state of crypto degen games. He does talk about Cambria and all the content that has come out of Cambria and the virality in it. And I do think that is so sick and so awesome. I actually didn't even know that there was this much content. I did see a lot of content, but I didn't know that there was this much. So it was pretty cool to see him share all of that, and lays out kind of the future and what's next for Cambria. So this is a very long article for, the thesis of Cambria. But I love it, man. They clearly understand what they're doing, where they're going, and they're very successful with it. So I'm rooting for Cambria. This is not me not rooting for Cambria. This is just me reacting to this viral article because I saw everyone repost it. You must read this. And it's I don't agree with the idea of the thesis for degen gaming. It's competitive gaming and it's real money games. Sorry. Next up, Play.Fun is live. Big shout out to Justin Waldron and Play.Fun. I sent him a DM just saying hey, thanks for the interview. That was really awesome. And he's yeah, now all we have to do is announce the game. And I was yeah. So the announcement is live. They actually got retweeted by Solana because they got motion like that because you're Justin Waldron. So Play.Fun is here. Congratulations to them. We're going to keep it going, guys, because we got a lot to talk about and we don't have a lot of time. The other big story of the day, dude, Power Protocol up 100% overnight. I mean, we just talked about it the other day. It was 60 cents, 50 cents, it got over $1 today. It was like $1.11, $1.12 or something like that. By the time that I took this screenshot, they are up 778%, over their lifetime, which they launched like December 4th. Absolutely crazy. You could have 8x'd your money, by buying their TGE. If only all crypto games were like this. If I go to their CoinGecko, dude, their market cap is $200 million with an FDV of $1 billion. You're telling me right now that Power Protocol is valued at $200 million? I find it hard to believe. I'm going to be honest. I am very happy for them. I love the Fableborn team. I think the game is incredible. I think what they're doing for crypto gaming is fantastic. But, we have to call a spade, and this makes no sense. This makes no sense. And we are the past 3-4 years of me being in crypto gaming, when things didn't make sense, we were just like, what do we know? I don't know, man. Why wouldn't it be worth $1 billion? And then we hit the bear market, everything crashes. None of it was real. None of it was genuine. None of it was authentic. None of it was substantial. So I've just been here too many times to look at this and be like, oh yeah, of course Power Protocol is worth $1 billion. I would love them to be. Nothing would make me happier than them being worth $1 billion. But I think we have to just take a step back and not get caught up in the headlines. Number go up is the best marketing in the world, and this is great marketing, but And just to bring some awareness to this, there are conversations happening in private group chats where people are, skeptical and wondering and asking questions like, how is this making sense? What's going on? Apparently there's no liquidity on the token. So Inhuman posted this yesterday, there's only $14,000 liquidity in your token. Cam, shout out to Cam. Love you, Cam. Cam responded, yo, bro, we got $1.4 million in liquidity. But I think from what I'm hearing, the liquidity on Ronin and maybe another Dex is just very, very thin. So if a lot of the retail people that wanted to sell their tokens, they would get hit with a 20-30% slippage. So it's just not all that, not everything is what it seems, is what I am hearing. But with that said, listen, I'm going to give you guys both sides of every story as best as I know it. With that said, Fableborn Dev Diaries number 14. Maybe they are worth $1 billion. Maybe they are worth $1 billion. And if you want to learn more about why they could be worth $1 billion, check out their Dev Diaries number 14, where they talk about the name for the new hero. Do we actually get the new name? Oh, her name will be Shiver. Cool. I like that. Burr. She's an ice-wielding mage. They got the new system worker healing. What else they got? They got Tales from the Kingdom. They got a bunch of content from community posts. They've got a new defense loop coming in season 5. So they're cooking. They're doing their things. Let the Fableborn fable. Let the fable be born. Let the fable be born. Maybe one man should have all that power. We're going to keep it moving, guys. Giga morning to the Giga Chads, not in Giga Chad Bat, but in Gigaverse. Their prize pool crossed $100,000. Sheesh. 60,000 already paid out via jackpots. The Gigaversary. Ooh, I love that. Gigaversary. Event ends today at reset time. Clap it up for the boys. You love to see it. Moving on, we got a story from, apparently the Gigaversary event has concluded. The Void Dungeon is now closed. There was something else here. Maybe not. I think that's it. All right, guys, moving on. Major news. This is what Off the Grid and Gunzilla has been teasing all week. We were speculating. We were wondering what it could be. And it is billboards. In-game advertising across their billboards. In-game advertising just went live, powered by the Game Informer advertising network. Every billboard, building wrap, kiosk you pass is live ad space. This is their genius move. Their 3,000 IQ play coming, their plan being revealed. So if you guys don't know, Gunzilla actually bought Game Informer. They actually bought Game Informer. Where's the post? Let me go to this post from, I think Meatzilla. Was it? Oh, crap. What's the guy's name? Meatport. I was thinking like CoffeeZilla. I think Game Informer had something too. Where's like the post from Game Informer? Someone made a screenshot of the images. Dang. I don't know where that went. I don't know where I saw it. Regardless, it's fine. Gunzilla bought Game Informer. Remember when Game Informer went out of business? Well, Gunzilla actually bought them. They hired back the entire team and brought back Game Informer, which was incredible. And now we have, maybe it's on the Game Informer page. Now we have the Game Informer advertising network. Yeah, I think it's here. Let me scroll down. I know I saw it. I know I saw it somewhere. Okay, no. GI advertising. Let me try and find this, dude. Network. Gosh. How did I see this tweet, but now it's gone? Is it Off the Grid? I'm annoyed with myself because I want to find it. Is it Gunzilla? Did they repost it? Did we post it on Gaming Daily? I don't think so. I'm annoyed because you could see the their actual advertising deck. Let me see if I can try and find this real quick. I'm not going to find it. Did I not like it? Hold up. I'm I never do this because I don't want to delay the stream. But this is I think it's important enough. Soul's on in the building. What is up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see. Why can't I find this? All right, let me do one last search and then we have to move on because I've already spent too much time on this. Game Informer. Okay, yeah. Oh wow, I'm okay. I think I had it. I think I did have it. I just got confused. So you can see this image right here. They share what the Game Informer advertising network would even look like. And they have a page where you can select your placements where you want to run your billboards and you can add your files and it's all built into the Game Informer platform. And just like that, you can have your advertising within their game. So this is really cool on one hand because they are bringing in additional revenue streams and giving, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out because if it works, it is brilliant. If it works, it is genius and they are going to crush it. On the other hand, I can see it backfiring a little bit, where games or people in the Game Informer network don't want to advertise in a crypto game, and they're like, what's going on here? Maybe this opens up more possibilities down the line for other types of activations. We're going to kind of keep it moving from here, guys, because we are running short on time today. We do have a lot that we have to get through. But with that said, massive congrats to Game Informer and Gunzilla and Off the Grid, because these are the types of experiments and activations that we need. And I mean, if it works, it's freaking insane. If it works, it unlocks something major. And, you know, Off the Grid is like, just, I don't know, out of here. So we wish him well. We want that. We want that to go well. Next up, guys, we're going to move on. We got Origins announcing their first alpha tournament, March 10th, 1 p.m. PST. Why do I feel like this got moved to Wednesday? I feel like this is supposed to be on Wednesday. Do they have the right day there? What is March 10th? That is Tuesday. Okay. Apparently, this is happening March 10th on Tuesday. I'll have to double check this, because I was told that it was like going to be on Wednesday. So we'll have to see. But either which way, Origins tournament going down at GDC with the Wolves and at the Wolves Den. It's going to be very, very cool, very exciting, and GG's. Next up, we got the Sandbox. We got the Sandbox going live officially with Season 7. We got 8 weeks, 32 experiences. Over 50% of them were creator-made, plus iconic brands, Atari, Black Mirror, Terminator, and 650,000 sand in rewards. That's at least 6 figures. I think that might be like 100K, 120K, something like that. So very, very cool. Shout out to the Sandbox. I actually think that we're going to do a special giveaway quest for the Sandbox. I actually have a ledger, Sandbox branded ledger. They also sent me this cup here that I drink out of every day. The Deepak Chopra cup. Oh, that's Llama. They should have live streams. Yeah. They got people streaming. They do have a Season 7 guide if you're interested. Everything that you need to know is on their page, so go check that out. Then we got an update from Realms World, Loot Realms. They gave a state of their ecosystem update. It's actually really good. I read through it before the show. They go deep into their on-chain gaming economy and thesis and their infrastructure, what they built. They've been like reposted and very much supported from the Ethereum community, and like Ethereum channel, Twitter account itself is like reposted and talked about Loot Realms. I think the CEO of Starkware was playing the game. So I think that this game has like far more emotion than I was aware of, which is very interesting. Having said that, they've survived 5 years in crypto. They did $400,000 in revenue in 1 quarter from one game. They've got 40% of their transactions of an entire L2 featured on Ethereum, bankless, everywhere. So shout out to Loot Realms. Pretty impressive. Burna actually played their game Loot Survivor and rated it overall 7 out of 10. So GG's to Burna doing Burna things out here. You love to see it. And then moving on, major news, Wilder World, dude, one of their lands sold for 10 Ethereum. It's almost $20,000. LM-8 is a mixed-use high-rise with up to 43 floors on a gigaplot. It's 2026, and we're still out here buying land NFTs, ladies and gentlemen. Congrats. Congrats to Wilder World. Listen, all of this stuff is always good, you know? Like, I think it's always good. It shows interest, it shows demand, it shows excitement. I know a guy that made like $1 million buying Decentraland land back in the day. So I know that people, went crazy with Decentraland and Sandbox and all that stuff. Typically, I'm a bit, I don't know, not skeptical, but like just weary of land NFTs because, there's like a lot of promises, but, who are we to say like anything about someone doing something in their ecosystem? If it works out, it works out, and it's a free country. So regardless, I do love to see that there is movement and excitement and belief. There are people that believe and want to be a part of it. I think that's fantastic. Let's see. Forgotten Playland is heading to Steam. When Icyland, Pred's in the building. What is up, brother? My guy. I love you, man. I miss you. We got to talk soon. Forgotten Playland. Listen, shout out to Conch, man. We're always getting the Discord updates. I love it when we get the screenshot from the Discord. It's like, you guys trying to sneak through these announcements. You're not going to sneak them through us. So they're going to Steam. There's going to be new modes launching, extra polish, gamer first experiences. Will you lose your stuff? Absolutely not. They got you covered. Key dates, February 27th. So 2 days from now, the Epic Game Store version is going to shut down. Interesting. Q2 of 2026 will be a very big relaunch on Steam. And then yesterday was the right time to wishlist the game on Steam. I really like Forgotten Playland. I'm rooting for them. I think it's a really cool game. Obviously, with them being on Steam, it's going to be less of a crypto game. So, will be interesting to see how they navigate that and kind of what they plan on doing and how they design it. But I mean, I think Forgotten Playland is like one of the coolest games that we have in the space. Guys, we got to be quick. Hand Towel is coming in 3 minutes. We got the Classic Season 13 off-season going live for Axie Infinity Classic. The season championship is starting February 28th, where you can play Classic Axie Infinity. Very, very cool. Other Axie Infinity updates. Atia's Legacy, the second playtest. They are starting to advertise it. If you want to play in the next upcoming playtest, you need to reply with a skull down below on this post. I saw someone say like, oh, so the playtest isn't open. And then Jace, one of their community managers and social media leads, commented and said, no, it's a closed playtest, just like the first one. So very cool. Atia's Legacy. We're very excited. We're bullish on them. All right. Let me jump in the call now. And then I can be there when Hantao comes on. Hantao, absolutely. Should be coming soon. So now we are in there, so we'll know when he does join us. And then I do need to share. I'll just share my window or Chrome tab. Guess I'll share the window. Through the window. We'll do that because that's kind of how I have my OBS formatted. Okay, guys, thank you. Hantao should be coming very, very soon. Before we get to Hantao and Moku, shout out to Mark of the Zeal, Cairo, just crushing, man. Not only did he get a $20,000 Ronin grant to continue building their guild, Mott's, Mark of the Zeal, they also got a $15,000 Arbitrum grant. So the guys are crushing over there, man. This is a lot of money to continue building their guild, to make gaming content, to keep crushing and pushing crypto gaming forward. W Arbitrum, W Ronin, W Cairo, W Mark of the Zeal. Cairo is a good friend of mine. I've known him for years in the space. One of my favorite people, great gamer, great builder, great person overall. And really, really happy to see this for Cairo. But at the same time, bro, Gaming Daily needs to start applying for some grants. What am I doing wrong? Oy vey. Your boy needs to get on these grant applications. Next up, guys, good news, bad news from Star Grid Battle Tactics. I have never heard of Star Grid Battle Tactics before in my life. Shout out to Conch, our researcher at Gaming Daily. I don't know how he finds all this stuff, man, but my boy be finding some crazy stuff. So, okay, today is a bittersweet day. First, the good news. The game is live. You can play now at stargrid.ar.io. But the bad news, because of the crypto bear market, funding for Stargrid has been discontinued, and thus the team and project must halt, at least for the foreseeable future. How do you launch your game and close it in the same tweet? What just happened? What? Hey guys, our game is live. Also, the studio is dead. What? I'm so confused. This is the craziest tweet. Just when you think that you've seen it all, dude. Just when you think that you've seen it all. What? This is crazy. Hantao's in the back room. We're going to bring him on the stage in just a second. But before we do, we just have to wrap up talking about this story. Hantao, I think you can hear me. This game announced that their game was live and announced that their studio was shutting down in the same tweet. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. 2026, man. Our last story before we bring Hantao onto the stream. Somnia just dropped their Q4 2025 report detailing, the state of their chain. We've been tracking Somnia for quite a while. They started off as like a gaming chain and a gaming network. Seems like they've like transitioned more to DeFi and trying to branch outside of gaming, which I take a little, I take a little offense to. I'm kidding. But yeah, interesting. I mean, I think it's much harder to compete as an L2 and try to, establish yourself as a chain. I liked it when they were more gaming focused, but seems like they're doing well. Their TVL grew 41% quarter over quarter, but that's only $2.65 million, which for TVL for DeFi on a chain is like nothing. But they're doing their things, and they do have a whole gaming ecosystem. So as we, as they launch games, we like to track them, cover them, talk about them. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let me go backstage for 10, 20, 30 seconds and get Hantao onto the stream. So stay tuned. The man, the myth, the legend from Moku himself will be joining us very shortly.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even
All right. We got him, man. We got Hantao on the stream. The formatting is mostly good. I just have to fix a little bit of the crop. Hantao, dude, thank you.
Icy.
Thank you for being here. How you doing?
What's up, Icy? Good. I like your shirt.
Yeah, dude. I had to convince Hantao at YGG Play something to give me their shirt. I was like, had the shirt, so I was like, Hantao, you have a shirt for me, right? And he's like, and I'm like, I need a Grand Arena shirt, brother. I'm gonna wear it on stream. He's like, yeah, I got you. Dude, Grand Arena is taking over my timeline. I don't think that you need any introduction, man. You are, it is Moku month out here. Hopefully Grand Arena year. Congratulations on all the success, man. I'm stoked to get you on. We've been friends in the space for quite a while now. I've watched the journey from Quest to Moku. to now, Moku launching Moki's and then Grand Arena. And the Grand Arena is live and everybody is playing and talking about it. So like, we're a few days in now. I think it launched just maybe 6 days ago. So like, how are you feeling, man? How's it feel to have been working on this for years and be at this point?
Nothing. I feel nothing. I see. So what I'll say is like we've been through like 5 Black Swan events already being in the space over the last couple of years, right? Since when it actually started booming, I think that's when a lot of people started like really recognizing gaming as a potential use for crypto. And when we started building Grand Arena, it was just a concept that Bruce had in mind. He was like, oh, what if we had like this auto battler arena and then people could actually speculate over the outcomes of this, right? Like 24/7 salty bets, but actually learnable characters. And so we just started building it because we realized that Web3 users are not your typical gamers, right? Like they'll play games. You love gaming. I'd say you're probably in like the 1% category. You love games for what they are. I think majority of crypto people love games because it's hyper-financialized. And I think that's okay that games are hyper-financialized, but Grand Arena is just a culmination of a lot of lessons we've learned and turning that into a product for crypto users.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I've given you flowers before many times for this. You are a builder who holds his conviction and digs his heels in to keep building when things get hard, but you're also not afraid to try new things and pivot, when things aren't working, or pivot to new things that have a lot of potential and upside. And that's what I've seen you do with Moku. So I've always deeply respected and appreciated the way that you think about the space, because you come at it from not only your broad experience, in esports and gaming, and, financial, like just first principles, things need to make sense. You're one of the few people in the space that are not Delulu. So yeah, it's been really cool to see you build in this direction. And I guess, like, let me ask, I didn't really prepare for this interview. I've got a bunch of stuff that I want to ask about Grand Arena, of course, and give you the platform. But I'm curious, like, can you just speak to that? Because I think I've asked you this before, at events or whatnot. Like, how do you think about being a builder in this space, approaching it from sound business fundamentals and financials, and like, what does it mean to try to do it the right way and like add value to the space and create products that people actually want to use? Because, as much as we would like there to be more people like that, there's a lot of people that are delulu and don't get that. So can you speak on that?
Yeah, I would say like the toughest lesson we've learned over the couple of years was just how users behave in the space, right? And when we look at that, and when we look at gaming, I think as a category in crypto, a lot of reason why people have a distaste for it, or even VCs and players, is because all the games had traditional Web2 rails, right? But they were building as if it was a Web3 product. Everything's on chain, crypto, like all the payments on chain. And so when the users, when they started marketing, they were like, oh, wait, our monetization is for traditional gamers, but our user base is actually crypto people. And the biggest mistake was just they didn't lean in hard enough to that monetization and financialization loop for the users. And because of that, I think a lot of the games just faltered when it mattered. At launch, keeping, player promises, things like that.
Incredible, man. Well, your launch is going really, really well. We are officially in Grand Arena Season 1 with $1 million prize pool. Within the first 24 hours, we had this tweet from Min sharing the Dunalytics from the Moku AI on Dunalytics, over $1 million in revenue. These are from, you know, the pack sales and the competitions and whatnot. So for anyone like, you know, tuning in, I'm sure you've talked about this quite a lot, but like, can you break down the model behind Grand Arena, how you guys are, you know, applying these lessons and these principles where so many crypto games have, like, you know, gotten it wrong and made those mistakes, and, you know, what you're doing with season 1?
Yeah. So first off, the reason why there's $1 million for the prize pool in season 1 to begin with is because we know why people are here, right? They want an opportunity to have an edge, to speculate, to win, and win money, right? That's why I put it up. Now, Grand Arena comes in 2 main components. The Grand Arena itself is daily fantasy for agents entertainment. So you can speculate over the performance of Mokies that are playing games 24/7. And that loop, the reason why I think Grand Arena works is because we tie things together. So whenever people buy cards and card packs, a portion of it goes to the prize pool, but a portion of it also goes to the owners of that IP and Moki, and they get it as royalties. So essentially, we have built in several different funnels to pump people's bags if they do well, right? Like, for example, a lot of the people's, like, better Mokies and their owners that have trained them and put time into them, their cards are worth like $50, $60. And when I was looking at the market, like, some of them that are not trained by some, like, potential KOLs or whoever else who don't have as much time, those cards are worth like $15, right? And because people have direct incentive and alignment in terms of, like, how they make decisions. Oh, I can make my Moki better or worse, and that directly affects the outcome of these contests that are happening every day. Then they're putting their skin in the game rather than just like, hey, I see, when am I getting an airdrop? Right? And I think that mentality shifts when you give them some upside as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think everything that you've designed and built is so thoughtful. I mean, the IP in itself is gorgeous. You know, the Moku, the Mokies, the branding, the packs look really great. The site is super clean, easy to use. When I was training my Mokies, you know, I asked you for some advice, and it was super simple. And I DM'd you back. I was like, oh, this was like really easy, and anybody can do it. And that's what we need in gaming, right? You can't have people, you know, making mistakes or getting stuck and falling behind, because they're just going to churn, and there's not going to be retention there. Let me ask you a little bit, maybe in the design of you know, Grand Arena in itself. So AI gaming, spectating, you know, there's the risk to earn kind of components. You've got the packs. Like, I guess I'd love you to break down each of those, but we might be here too long. I guess, like, can you tell me a little bit more about the idea behind the AI gaming aspect of it? So the arena, you've got your Mokies, you can train them, you enter them into this, you know, grand battle. They play autonomously, and you can watch it. I actually think, you know, you've got the stream on the site, which is super cool. And you can watch these battles happen, and you get the results. Like, how did that idea come together, and like, why was that the game that you guys wanted to make?
Yeah, so originally we wanted to make something super simple. There's been a couple variations of that out there where people have attempted to do something similar. Now, the reason I think why we're able to have an edge in this is because one of our co-founders and somebody else we worked with, one of our partners, they are AI specialists, right? Like, they built their own reinforcement learning model for this game. And because we can use our own reinforcement learning model that they built, we're able to give the Mokies a bit more expression than your traditional, like, salty bets, because in those games, it's just like, oh, it's just random, completely random, right? And here you have stats. Like, if you pick a lineup with Mokies that are undertrained and bad, you're going to lose through time. That's a fact, right? So premium cards have better upside because the owners are actually training their Mokies. And the reason why we decided, I think, on that is because when you look at the space, there's actually not that many gamers, players specifically, right? When you're looking at these different types of multiplayer online games, I think only a few have done well, right? And it's really difficult to build a game in crypto for a lot of players at once, right? There's just no player liquidity. And so we're like, okay, well, what do people actually want to do? They want to trade, they want financialized products. Okay, let's just obfuscate the game away and make it played exclusively by AI that they can train through a very simple process. And if we do it that way, player liquidity doesn't matter. We don't need to worry about the user experience in the game. It just needs to be competitive and watchable. So it makes game development and integration a lot easier. So I think for us, it's mainly just like content is literally going to be impossible to tell if it's AI or real. I see cats cooking with woks on TikTok. I see gorillas doing vlogs. So it's crazy, right? And eventually, there's just going to be so much content created from AI. It's hard to tell, but people don't care. They just want to enjoy it. So I think that aspect is why we're taking this swing on that.
Amazing, man. Yeah, you built a game for you clearly understood the people that you were building the game for, the demographic that you're going after. And I think that's one of the mistakes that a lot of game, founders or developers make. Especially, maybe even more traditional indie game developers who are like coming into crypto because they raised some money because they wanted to fund their game, but they didn't really understand crypto. So, they didn't know who they were really building for. And they've just gotten stuck kind of trying to learn the crypto Twitter side at the same time. And time and time again, we just haven't seen that work out very well. Let's talk about this, man. The go-to-market strategy as well, $1 million prize pool, but you have also activated, so much of crypto Twitter, right? Min Dynasty has been going, deep into the game, which has been awesome to see because he's a big TCG collector, gamer, but also, crypto Twitter KOL, if you will. I saw Easy Eats making content. I saw, the Bodago guys, Nick and Clemente. We saw Orangey jumping into the game recently. So, I'm curious about your strategy there in like trying to create as much energy and awareness and noise around. Really, it's been a timeline takeover. You also have the full support of Jihos and Ronan, which has been really cool to see. And again, congratulations on that. But I guess I want to try and understand Handhow's go-to-market marketing strategy for Grand Arena in that effect.
Yeah, I see trying to get $1 million advice right now.
We got
okay.
Still the lessons, man. That's what we're about.
Yeah, so I would say marketing in crypto is kind of like two things. You have to take a barbell approach to it because you can't go in the middle, right? You have to get something that anybody can get access to and something where the top people can get access to, right? And for the top people, we obviously know who the top people in crypto are. They're people who try out a lot of different products, who do different things. Like Min, he's an avid Pokemon collector now, and he is so deep in crypto, right? And so this product is such a good fit for him because of all the things that he likes. And when we look outside, the Bodago guys, they're deep in the Solana side, so we need as much awareness as possible outside of just the gaming sphere. And I think that's necessary and required to just get Grand Arena onto more eyes. And then the other side, which I think has probably the best conversion, is guilds, actually. So we put up a 50K content creator rewards program and a 50K guild grant. And we've gotten about, I'd say 100 guilds so far activating Grand Arena. They still need to onboard more people and things like that. But I would say these guilds are the best way to get people aligned and into a game, because products in crypto are so hard. Grand Arena is something completely also new. So now we have like two huge rocks that people are like, oh, I don't know how this works. Oh, I also don't know how daily fantasy works. I also don't know how daily, like AI content loops into that. And so it's just such a difficult barrier. And I think having a community and having guilds and creators, like micro creators, really helps alleviate some of that, the pressure of discovering a new product. Yeah, so like Hairo's doing a great job. Tempest, I think, is also on the
I joined the
leaderboard.
Tempest Club.
Oh, you joined?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was really torn between Tempest and Mott's, but I think Mott's had more people, so I was like, let me help out Storming over here, which both of them have like hundreds and hundreds of people in their club, so they're absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, and then there's also other top ones like Cute Asian Girl. That was actually a meme from our last product that came out, and they're still going strong. One of their owners called OP Holder, like he's a huge supporter of the ecosystem, and then Jet2 Holiday, like some of our own community members as well. So yeah, there's just like so many different communities out there and gaming groups, and I think supporting them, talk to them. You should see the DMs. It's just like we message every group when there's an update, and like when we give them some resources. It's pretty crazy, but I do think that some of those general awareness plus this like on the ground, I need to talk to every individual person is the best approach in crypto.
I love that, man. I respect that you're like, I feel nothing. I've been through all this stuff. I'm just like focused on the path, on the mission. Like, job's not finished. I'm happy for you. I'm like,
thank you.
I want you to be like, fucking on cloud nine. But I respect the founder mode. But yeah, I mean, like, you got a bunch of people playing the game. People are figuring out the strategy, the meta. People are posting about it, making content. You're seeing stuff left and right. Cairo's been doing well. YP's, apparently making $80 a day with his Mokies. Again, mileage may vary, results may vary, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Not financial advice, of course. These guys are top tier gamers. They're also top tier asset holders, so they might have been training their Mokies and whatnot. But I want to ask, like, how do you feel seeing, the game get traction like this, people making content, people even making money? Of course, some people are not going to make money, and that's fine. That's a part of the game. That's, you're not promising free money for people. But it's got to be cool to see this baby, this thing that you've been building and cultivating out in the wild, man, and then the response from people.
Yeah, it's honestly humbling to see. I think like a lot of the work is from friends that I've met over the years. Like, YP's been posting a lot. And then Apple, I think Raiden, a lot of like the gaming people who kind of grown more outside of just gaming have also been super supportive. So super appreciative of them. And I would just say that like, it's great, but there's so much more to do. Yeah, it's like it wasn't easy building a product like this because our team is still small, and we had to build like our own game. We had to put our reinforcement learning model into the game. They had to actually not be stupid or as stupid, and then we had to build a full platform where you can have cards as NFTs, royalties, and things like that. So it's definitely been a challenge considering the size of our team, but I think like where we've gotten to is definitely a lot, very good progress, but we still have a lot to do.
I mean, I want to talk like, maybe like more strategy about the game and everything. There was a really good guide. I've seen guides from Min. I've seen guides from Cairo. I've seen guides, across the Ronin page. Jiho is making guides, which is always fun and really cool when he gets really activated on a game. But I mean, yeah, like what apologize. I don't know if I've seen how long season 1 is, or maybe that's maybe
12 weeks and a bit. 12 weeks and a bit. Yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, what is kind of like after season 1? What is kind of the rest of 2026 roadmap looking like? I know probably can't speak too much on things, but maybe a little bit of tease or alpha, what to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to make sure that everything works for season 1. People get their money for season 1. The prize pool gets sent out for season 1. Our product doesn't die in season 1, and then we'll have season 2.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
season 2 comes after season 1, baby.
Yeah, season 2 comes after season 1. Yeah, so we've already started planning some things. We already have a second game in development actually for season 2.
Oh, amazing!
It's going to be a 3D viewing game. But again, not played by players, and it's going to be something that a lot of people like around the world.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like there's some alpha there, some teases there, so I appreciate that. Very cool. Very cool. You threw me off there.
Oh, sorry. You also asked about strategy as well.
Very cool. Oh, well, I guess, I'm jumping all over the place, Hantal, but I want to go back to the game. But before I do, like, you talked about that. I guess, like, what is the cliche question, but what is the ultimate vision for Moku and Grand Arena? Like, where is this in 5 years from now?
Yeah, I mean, our main goal for Grand Arena is literally making a new vertical of entertainment, right? We've already seen what AI can do in terms of making content. Like Sora, pretty crazy, right? And AI is only going to get better from here. It's just like you can't do anything to stop it. And in like 2-3 years, you probably won't know that it's actually me talking on this camera with you. And I think for us, we still like the reason we all came to crypto was because we're all degens. Okay. Like we wanted to make money. We saw people making money. We wanted to come here. And I think that's still true in our vision of motivations for players. And so it's just expanding that motivation across different pieces of content. So we'll have multiple games that you can play daily fantasy over.
Very cool, man. New vertical of entertainment. I completely agree. You probably saw the article from Ben from Cambria going around today, like his thesis on Degen games. And a lot of that was around the idea of financialized entertainment. Completely agree. I think we are in a new frontier, a new vertical of these style of game. This is like, I feel like competitive gaming and real money games is what's evolving here. Like, and crypto kind of brings those rails and infrastructure so that you can have experiences like this. And I feel like you can correct me if I'm wrong because you know better than I do, but I feel like previously that was only available through esports and pro players and big tournaments and stuff like that. But now we're moving into a world where casual players can have access to real money games, and people are competitive gamers anyways, but now they can kind of like put their money where their mouth is, and we're providing more of the rails to do so. Am I onto something there? Is that right? Or
yeah, I mean, I think the cool thing about crypto is just like I can send money to anybody in the world, right? And because that barrier is broken, when I used to have like contractors in different countries, that was so weird. I had to use like money, Zoom. No, it's like money, some kind of money transfer on the website where you have to enter all their bank info, and then like half the time it failed because you don't have the proper Swift code or something, and it's just like, oh, your address is wrong, so this failed, and now you gotta wait another 2 weeks to transfer the money. And because of that, and like I think the global access that crypto provides, you're able to build a lot more interesting financial products.
100%. Okay, let's go back to Grand Arena. What are some of your favorite Mokis? What are you seeing? Is there any alpha in the constructing your teams? Is there a meta to buying some of the packs? I know you've got different rarities in some of the packs. Is there anything that you can share? Are you seeing like across the timeline that people haven't picked up on yet? I'm trying to clip farm Hantal. What do the people need to know?
Yeah, so everybody sucks. I'm the best at the content, not the contest. So I think it's still early. We're still at a very like early point in Grand Arena because the reason why
you are losing your own game apparently. So
okay, buddy, century is over.
Okay, we'll go back.
Okay, no, but I think the main thing is just like people rely a lot on just the surface level stats. It's like, for example, if I was to play daily fantasy and I was like, I'm going to get LeBron, LaMelo, and all these cool people on my team, and it's going to be the best, right? But most fantasy players who have played the game would be like, you're crazy, right? Because it's not just about having the best players. You need to make sure they're playing the games well, they're on a streak or they're on a losing streak. You need to understand the game a bit deeper and see like, oh, what are the matchups are for today, right? Because like one thing is like, oh, if you have two cards and they're playing against each other today, well, one of them's guaranteed to lose.
Right.
Right. So no matter what, one card is already gonna lose. And get less points. So I think a lot of the strategy is just like everybody's at the surface level right now and they're kind of discovering, they're figuring it out. And I think in like a week to 2 weeks, we'll actually start seeing people abusing certain lineups.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, I like that it's a 3-month season and there's a lot of time. I mean, the amount of content and gameplay that we've already seen and strategy has been immense. And so it will be fun to see how the meta continues to shift and how the player base interact with it. We got a question here from Llama in the chat, who is a hardcore, diehard like crypto gaming supporter, tunes into all of the streams. So he is asking, have you seen much adoption from the non-Web3 audience so far, or is it mostly kind of like the play to earn users?
Every person in Web3 is play to earn user. The reason you're in crypto is because you're here to make money. And you usually have to pay. You can't like airdrop farming, whatever, sure. Like yapping, that's already dead, right? So everybody in crypto is here to make money. Have we gotten Web 2 users? No, we haven't started marketing to Web 2 users yet. Once we do start marketing to Web 2 users and doing user acquisition on that side, it's not going to be traditional gamers. It's going to be people who like playing fantasy, who like sports wagering as well. It's just a different type of user that we would be looking for versus the traditional like Web 2 gamer.
I love it. I got to ask about this tweet. You don't have to respond to it. You don't have to speak on it at all, but you're saying everyone here is wants to earn money. So I saw this tweet. This is not, from Moku. This is not from anyone on the team or anything. So this guy said, first up Power, next will be Moku. And then Jiho's reposted it and said, thinking ahead. Is there any comments that you can speak on here or pass?
What I will say is every crypto company raises on instruments that include tokens. You rarely see VCs saying yes if there's no token instrument. Now, the real question is it going to happen? We've had a few opportunities in the past where we've gotten like a lot of traction. I think the main issue is just like you can TG at any time. With some caveats, obviously. But you can essentially launch a token anytime you want. The problem is they're going to go to zero, right? So how do you actually build a business that can support that token? For example, when we look at successful tokens, how many can you name? Bitcoin, There's no founder or owner of Bitcoin. It's just everybody's buying it, right? Ethereum, Vitalik's dumping every second week, right? What's good? Hyperliquid. Why? Because they're accruing value back to the token. So it's not a matter of will there be a token. I think it's just a matter of when and does it make sense.
Even
for
the
a
founder
business.
is saying when TGE. Incredible. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. On that topic, going back, I wanted to pull up Min's tweet here. Grand Arena did like $1 million in revenue, within 24 hours. How does Moku make money? How does the studio make money? Is it just a cut from the tournaments, the entry fees, the pack sales, trading fees? Is there anything that you can speak to on that?
Yeah, to clarify, that's not 5 days.
Oh,
yeah. Alyssa posted 5 days.
Got
Yeah, so that's why I couldn't retweet it because it wasn't fully true.
okay.
But I do appreciate her support though. But yeah, it was in 5 days. But in the last 5 days, I would say about 30% came from that. Now it's not like straightforward as just like, oh, this is revenue, right? Because like Breezy, I think the claw machine one is like, oh my god, we have $10 million of volume and $5 million of revenue. Like, how is that possible? When you have half revenue, does that mean you're taking 50% from players? No, it's not, because your margins are different, right? Than what the actual like revenue is. So for us, we make money on contests. We take a percentage take rate, and also there's a percentage from the contest that go directly to the end of season prize pool. So that 1 million actually grows through time. For card packs, part of that goes to us, part of it goes to prize pool, and part of it actually goes to the Moki owners that own the characters for the cards. And then for like other parts of spending, we usually take a portion, and then a portion will go elsewhere to like other parties that are in the ecosystem, like players. And then from our take as well, we also give that some to guilds that are participating through our club system.
Yep. That really seems to be the winning model these days. I think we're seeing, Cambria, Gigaverse, on-chain heroes have these prize pool models where, there's a split that will go to the studio, to the prize pool, to the players, to creators and whatnot. I guess, like, is that the golden model for crypto gaming? Is it that simple? Like, have something that people want to play and spend money in, give them a piece of it, and you just take your share?
Yeah, I think, I think there's two parts to this, right? The first part is it's really hard to build a traditional product in crypto because you cannot monetize users the same way. Like traditional free to play games is just, oh, go buy an item in the game or go buy like a skin. People in crypto are like, what is this skin for? Do I get an airdrop? Is it worth $10 for this skin? Can I sell it? Right? Can I burn it for a better skin?
Right.
So it's like completely different in how people think about assets in this space. And also it's just like, when we look at the type of companies that exist, the only ones that really do well, like OpenSea, Magic Eden in the past, for NFTs on Solana, and then like Hyperliquid, Binance, right? All these people, how do they make money? Well, they take a percentage of the total volume, and you just need to generate as much volume as you can. So instead of being like, hey, buy this skin 50 times, now it's like, oh, you can still do the transactions and I'll just take a percentage, right? And instead of the company taking so much, a part of it will go towards this larger sum that people can share in after. So I think it's mainly those two things, which is like, one, it's just the nature of the business in crypto. And then two, people like getting upside and showing that the company is willing to put back money into the ecosystem.
Yeah, well said. I mean, it's kind of basic business fundamentals. It's definitely a new vertical, which is crypto, which adds, a certain complexity to it. But at the same time, like, money in and money out is the laws of entropy and nature and physics. So that's cool, man. I guess, is there anything that I haven't asked you that I should ask you? Is there anything that you want people to know about Grand Arena, Moku, that we haven't touched on yet?
I see asking me to interview myself. Yeah, how do you play Grand Arena? Okay, well, I see. It's very simple to get started, actually. You can just connect any EVM wallet, and when you buy gems, you can actually pay from Base, Abstract, Ethereum, or Ronin. And
I
when you
bought some
buy
gems earlier on with some Ron.
Yeah, so you can use a couple different currencies on a couple different chains, and then you just use those gems when you play. You can buy card packs, play contests. If you win contests, you get USDC. Wow.
I mean, let me ask you this, because that's kind of like I feel like we're seeing a lot of these style of games. Don't Die is doing something kind of similar, and for me, coming from like the poker world, it's very reminiscent of the poker style tournaments where you can jump in. Did I lose my mic?
No, that's good.
Oh, okay. You can jump in, and it's that kind of risk to earn. I mean, did you take inspiration in those models? Do you consider yourself kind of risk to earn? Is that how you categorize it? Or are you thinking it's completely different?
Risk to earn is a weird name for me. I'm done with names.
Yeah.
Like play and earn, play to earn, fun to earn. Yeah, I think all these names are just like...
Remember play to own?
Yeah, play to own. Yeah, I think all of those are just like bullshit terms. At the end of the day, it's just like people have specific behaviors of how they consume content. And how they consume content drastically changes what they like to do and whatever the type of user they are. Right? Like traditional gamers are literally some of the people that spend the least amount of money because they're hypercritical of everything. They're like, I don't like this mouse because it glows green instead of red. Right? And so gamers are like super hypercritical of products. That's why crypto, like they hate crypto because they're just they're mob minded and just don't really like these things. Right? And so when we look at it, it's just literally how do we build a scalable product for people in crypto, and who are those people outside of crypto, right? Like, sure, real money gaming exists in like the App Store already, actually. Like, you don't need crypto to do that. You can just literally go in the App Store and find games where you can put in money, and if you win, you can take out the money, right? And for us, it's just so much bigger than this like risk to earn or whatever we want to call it. It's literally like we want to build a new product that hasn't been seen before, and how can we do that?
Yeah, I love that. I got really excited last year from that concept as you were kind of talking about it, and we saw more and more of this AI gaming space kind of start to emerge. And now, I mean, we've got OpenClaw and we're really seeing an explosion on the agent AI side of things. So I think anyone kind of building in that direction is moving in the right way, and also like very intriguing, very compelling, because I'm sure the tech stack that it's taking to make the Grand Arena run with the perpetual tournaments and competitions. And it's so cool. It's so cool seeing the Mokis jumping around and battling and fighting each other, and then seeing a lot of the results in the tournaments. So I can see how that has an allure to you, and it's really exciting. I mean, that's what like got me excited about crypto gaming. It was like, oh, this is a new thing. 4 years later, we didn't get into it because
right.
It was easy. We got into it because we thought it would be easy.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're not here to build another like DEX. We're not here to build another layer one, right? We want to build a product that utilizes crypto and can actually change what the future of daily fantasy can be.
Yeah. I love that. Awesome, man. I'm really excited for you. Again, I always really like have such an affinity for the people that have been here for the past 3, 4, 5+ years, trying to do it the right way, building, actual products in the trenches. And what you've done with Moku is really incredible. And it's awesome to see, you get like fully embraced and all the backing and support from Ronan and crypto Twitter, and to see people playing the game and it be out there. And, I've minted like 4 Mokis back when they minted. So thank you for making me do that, because they've been awesome, and I'm training them. Hold on. Can I ask you this? You're going to be mad at me. Okay. You're going to be mad at me. I tried to, I saw that there was an article on Moku about schemes, and I tried to jump into a tournament earlier, but I needed a scheme, and I didn't fully understand that. Can you break down schemes to me? Why am I small brain and missing this?
Yeah. So in traditional fantasy, you just pick up a lineup of players and then you just wait, right? In Grand Arena, what we wanted to do was add collectability and strategy, right? Collectability comes from just owning the cards and being able to upgrade them, craft them, etc. The scheme part is something that we came up with because we wanted more strategy and depth into the game. Because when you look at it, it's like, okay, well, I could just throw any cards into a competition. Oh, but it actually doesn't work unless I have the right modifiers or scheme card. And scheme cards act as a way that you can synergize a team better, so you can get bonus points for having more traits that line up with that scheme card, and it just adds another depth to this game versus just entering Mokis.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Do I need to how do I get a scheme card? Do I have to get it from a pack, or?
Yeah, so you can get it from a pack. The cost is $6, or you can get it from other packs. There's also a 5% probability to roll in it. You can get it from a booster box with the same probability. You could buy it on secondary, but it's kind of expensive now. These scheme cards were literally like 50 cents. And some of them now are like $10.
That's the meta. That's the meta, man. Hey, could be not financial advice, but could be worth it. Could be worth it. Probably nothing, maybe something. What are you most excited for next? Like, what are you working on? What are you looking at? Obviously, you're in it right now. You're absolutely in it. But I'm just curious, like, where your excitement and focus is kind of trending.
Yeah, I think it's just making the product better. We launched with a thought that, like, hey, we need to get this out there because we need people to see for what Grand Arena is, for what it is. Mm-hmm. And now I think it's a lot of like, okay, well, now it's out there. How can we make this product more enjoyable, more fun, better for users, and give them a better experience? And I think that's just improving the product, right? And throughout all those times as well, we'll also like try out UA in different funnels, see how we can get more users. Yeah.
Dude, great answers, man. I love that. It's like, it's builder mode, founder mode. Like, you're focused on the things that matter. You're focused on your product, your craft, your player base, your gamers. That's like, it's not flashy, right? It's not like, oh, we're doing all this craziness, but it's like, it's the stuff that matters. It's the real stuff. And you've always been one of the more competent builders. So on behalf of crypto gaming, man, we appreciate everything that Moku means to the space, the things that you guys are doing. And, we try to support you guys as much as we possibly can. Definitely got to jump in there, get some Mokis, in the arena. And we'll see. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not, I just lose money in games, but,
I see. If you go in if I don't see a tweet from you winning a contest in the next week, I'm just gonna call you shit every time I see you in person.
That's a deal. That's a deal, man. Listen, I don't know how many contests it's gonna take for me to win one, but challenge accepted, man. Hantao, I love you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Genuinely, everything that you've done, everything that you're building, you're one of the few people that like we're like, yes, like they get it, they're doing it right, and you make the space better. You make it a space for like people like me to be proud to operate in. So appreciate you, man. And yeah, anything that we can ever do to support, please let us know. And you know, we're going to clip up some different parts of this conversation, and, you know, wish you the best of luck with the rest of the season, man. Probably have to have you on at the end of the season to come back and reflect on, or if you want to jump in at any point during the season, you're always welcome, man.
Thank you.
All right, brother, we're going to let you go. I'm sure you're busy, and thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was Hantao. That was incredible. Thank you so much for hanging out. Great questions in the comments. Appreciate that. I'm excited, man. Genuinely, like, Hantao is one of my good friends in the space. I'm trying to, you know, absorb game. I'm trying to get the blueprint in the alpha, but the alpha is just like doing the work. That's the thing with Hantao, man. I've watched him build Moku for the past 3+ years, and you know, so much of it was just quietly doing the work, you know. And even now when I'm like trying to tease stuff out of him, he's like, I'm just doing the work, man. Like, there's work to be done. There's a science and an art to it. So very, very cool. I did get my Mokis set up today. The problem with me is I switched my computer, so my Ronin wallet is on my gaming PC, but I'm gonna jump in there. You guys can keep me accountable too. If I don't have a tweet of me winning a tournament, you know, then I'm a failure of a crypto gamer, man. What are you doing? Ponzimon, appreciate you being here. Llama, Ice and Dark, Steamed Bun, Batops. Guys, we're gonna have to I apologize to you guys. I need to get your guys' comments on the stream. That should be a thing that we put on here. You guys deserve to be on the stream. I don't think Hantao has like access to the comments behind the scenes like I do. So I need to start doing that. Bootop's got 5 cards on the Grand Arena. I think this is one of them ones. I think this is one of the ones to play, man. Super simple. I bought a pack for like $3 earlier. And again, I was going to play and enter, but I was missing a scheme. So seems like I got to get one of the schemes. And then it's so simple. The site is so easy to use. It's really well designed. So we got it, boys. We got the Hantao interview done. Thank you so much for coming on, brother, once again. Thank you guys for hanging out. These streams always like go longer than I expect, but I have such a good time asking questions and talking to the people who are doing the hard work building the space, and I get so excited and passionate about trying to absorb and learn from them. So I just want to keep asking them questions. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. Once again, big shout out to Yield Guild Games and AI Rev for making my work possible. Just like Moku and Hantao are some of the best builders in the space, true to this, you know, building with conviction every single day, doing the hard work. Yield Guild Games does the hard work with YGG Play Summit, with YGG Play, publishing their own games like Waifu Sweeper, Lowland, Giga Chad, Bat. You guys already know. You can jump into their community, join their daily quests, their season quests. You can earn tokens for gaming. Brothers, that's going to do it for the Wednesday episode of Gaming Daily. Tomorrow, we have Retrimentum from Upshot Cards coming on the show. You know what we got to start doing? We got to start getting these guys to give us some giveaways for the show. Like, we should have raffled off a Moki or something. That would have been a lot of fun. So maybe we can get some Upshot Cards tomorrow. If you guys remind me about that, I'll try and get it across on the on the interview. Put him on the spot a little bit. Technically it's Thursday. It is Thursday for you guys. It is Thursday. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that interview as much as I did. Enjoy the show. It was like a theme. There's a theme of crypto, degen, gaming, real money games. I like how Hanta was talking about it, dude. It's like, it's not risk to earn. It's not all of these like buzzwords. It's just gaming, and it's entertainment, and it's, financialized. Yes, sure. But also, it's new, and we're still kind of figuring it out. I think it'd be good if you got some regular interviews per week too. It's hard to schedule. What do you mean? What do you mean regular interviews? Like one interview a week would probably be best. Brother, I really enjoy the interviews. I kind of want to talk to as many people as possible. So the vision for the Gaming Daily Live platform is to have as many people on as possible and create a platform for them to share what they're up to. Because I'm learning a lot more by talking to people. I want to get Cam from Fableborn on. I want to get Cairo on. I want to get Jiho on. It can sometimes be hard, especially when there's people have to reschedule or cancel. Kind of throws a little bit of a monkey wrench into it, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad, Llama, to be honest, as long as you guys are enjoying it, which that's the most important thing to me. Like Boot Tops, Llama, Ice and Dark, Sunshine, Ghost Cat jumps in here. The show has been growing, which has been really cool. Shout out to Peyton. He stopped by. I want to make sure that this is valuable and entertaining for you guys. And if it's just me yapping every day about, just like the general news, I think that's cool. I really enjoy that. But I also I'm on this mission to save crypto gaming. And a part of that is by talking to the people who are building crypto gaming, figuring out what is working, what they're doing, trying to help them create more content distribution and amplification for them. I think the clips have been doing really well. When we clip Dead Fella's game or, Project O Alpha, the clips are really, really cool. And then, that helps bring more people and more awareness. So that's what I'm really passionate about, man. So as long as you guys don't hate the interviews, we're going to keep doing them. I think 3 to 4 a week. It is a lot. It is a lot. And it's going to vary, right? Sometimes we're not going to have interviews, and then other times we will have interviews. Arvin says, is Web3 gaming made only for the farmers? Asking from the first Web3 internet cafe in the world. Big shout out to Arvin. Much, much love, brother. Guys, that's going to do it for me. It's been 2 hours of yapping. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow with another Gaming Daily Live. Thank you guys for being here. It really means the world to me. The fact that you guys are pulling up and hanging out and chatting and engaging. It's just what I love about streaming. So, please, any feedback that you guys have, you can DM me about the show. I want to make it something that you guys enjoy and get value from. Even if you don't tune in all the time, I want you to feel like you could come tune in and it's the same kind of quality and vibe and atmosphere. So I really, really care about the time that you guys are giving to this show. It made me realize I need to do more for you guys in terms of the community that we're building. Because I really value Llama. Llama has been here every day for every stream. And man, you're bringing me back to 2022 when I had a solid crew when we were playing games, and people, the same 5 or 6 people would show up every single day, and we were building this really cool community. And I appreciate you kind of bringing that vibe back. Same with Ice and Dark, same with, AE and, Ghost Cat and some of the other people coming through. Shout out to Steamed Bun. Shout out to Boo Tops. means a lot, guys. W Yap session in the building. Guys, we're going to head out with a little bit of Marty Supreme, and I'll see you tomorrow. Stay humble, keep gaming, keep dreaming. I'll see you
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.